Welcome to this episode of Let's Talk Lending. I am with my co-host,
Barb Pinsent from the Mortgage Center Elite.
All right, Barb, we get together 8 times a year because the Bank of Canada makes an announcement. What was the big announcement today?
There was no change again today.
That was kind of expected, don't you think? Like, especially with all of the changes, with all of what's, I feel like I don't know. There's just a pause. They're just being
Yeah.
careful.
They are expecting that next month they will decrease the overnight lending rate, and it's just the uncertainty. Hey, like the tariffs and things will show as having slowed down, I'm sure, next month too, because there was a lot of buying going on because
You
people
froze on my internet.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some internet challenges here. So let's get into what you wanted to talk about today, because I think it's really important, right? So there's no change. It's still at 2.75%.
That's right.
Barb, you can talk about interest rates and all that good stuff as you want. But let's get started with your presentation. Go ahead. If you can put it on presentation mode, that'd be great.
Okay, I thought I had it on presentation mode. Again, here we go. Hang on a second.
So Barb's going to talk about the importance of a mortgage pre-approval. And yes, we've talked about this before, and it's so vitally important because it's the first step. It's the most important step that I think that needs to happen, because if you don't have a strong pre-approval, you're not shopping for shoes. You're not shopping for shoes, right? Yeah. And this is the conversation we've had so many times with people that, you want to make sure that Barb, you're still not on presentation mode yet.
What's going on?
Gotcha. But that pre-approval, because there could be up to 60 documents that you need to get, Barb, and making sure that you're organized. All I want when I take a buyer out is for you to focus on what you want to buy, that you're in the price range that you should be in, buying below your means, and making sure that you can just focus on the house at hand. Making sure that you're picking the right home in the right area. Are you future-proofing the purchase that you want to make? All that stuff is really, really important. So, Barb, it looks like you're ready. Okay, off we go. She's off to the races. So,
all right. So, like you said, it is important to have the pre-approval done, and it's not just a formality. It's a crucial step in the home buying process. It's going to tell you exactly how much you can afford, so you're not wasting your time looking at homes outside your price range. Gives you confidence when you're making an offer, because sellers and real estate agents take you more seriously when they know you've already been vetted by a lender. During the pre-approval process, we're going to look at your credit, your income, your down payment. So it's very thorough, helps to avoid surprises down the road, like finding out you don't actually qualify for the amount you thought, or you don't actually qualify and there's something that you need to do to get yourself ready. So, and another thing that pre-approval does is lock in your interest rate for up to 120 days in most cases, which is key if interest rates are on the rise. In short, getting a pre-approval does put you in the driver's seat. It gives you financial clarity, negotiating power, and peace of mind while you shop. And when the right home comes along, you're ready to act quickly and confidently.
I think that says it perfectly, Barb. You want to be able to move quickly, because even though we're a balanced market right now, and I'm just going to flip over to, I'm going to share my screen because I want to talk about the stats just a little bit. And I'm going to talk about single family home stats in particular at this point. So I show this so let's talk about the inventory. If we look at this number here, and I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger, but the inventory, we were below what the average was there was 338 homes for sale. Last month, there was 265. So we're beating last year's sales. That's the most important thing. We had, I don't have that number there. I want to say that we had 88. No, it's more than that. Okay. I know that we've beaten the number of sales over last year, which is good. Now, the average price came down a little bit. It's because maybe some of the higher end stuff wasn't moving, but we are still beating last month's numbers. So was it a little bit softer? Maybe a little bit, but it went from a seller's market back to a balanced market. The good stuff is getting picked off in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You want to be ready. You want to have, if you're a seller, you want to make sure your home is priced properly out of the gate. Because if you're getting an offer within a couple of days, you're doing something right. You've done something right. Buyers are looking, they're out there. And if you are in multiple offers, you want to stand out. To be able to say, when I receive an offer and I know that Barb's on the other end of it, that's strong negotiating power. Barb gets things done. And you need that stress to be taken away when you're in this process of looking for a home. So we are seeing days on market come down. This is telling me for sure that things are selling more quickly. So it's an exciting time. People are still looking. But the most important step is talking to Barb and getting pre-approved.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. June 30th is the next date. Or sorry, July 30th is the next date. What do you think, Barb? Are they changing things?
It's so tough to tell if, like, I think maybe talks are getting some, I hope talks are.
Okay, Barb, yes or no? So choices are, is it changing?
I am going to say.
And by how much, if you think it's changing?
A quarter.
Okay. That's what I think too. Barb and I are in alignment. We think it's coming down by 0.25% next time. The banks are all talking about, they expect these numbers to come down to 2% by the end of the year. Barb, are you seeing people going more into variable rates right now because of this speculation?
Not, I was, but now they're moving away from those again now. Actually, there's lots more interest in a 5-year fixed again.
Interesting.
That's where a lot of people seem.
What would you do, Barb, if you were in this market right now? Because you know what I'm going to tell you, my mortgage is up for renewal, and I had 1.84%, and it's up in September. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to go variable.
Yeah, I probably would go variable and will when mine comes due for renewal, just because there is that possibility of a lower rate.
Yeah,
but it's not for the faint of heart, and it's not for people who can't afford some, volatility. And we've learned a really hard lesson, many have, from seeing prime go up by 5%, right? So
yeah,
people in variables hurt a lot when that happened. So still a good product. I think it's a great product. And the biggest, well, one of the better things about a variable is the penalty, because nobody knows what the future holds. And when you're looking at an interest rate differential versus a 90-day interest penalty, you just know what that penalty is going to look like. In a variable, in a fixed rate, you don't. So that's, you want to be looking at your goals and how long you plan to be in there for before.
Excellent.
Big decision, right?
Big decision. Yeah, it is. All right. If you want to get a hold of Barb and I, let's talklending.com, fill in that form. We'll both get your information, and we'll be very happy to help you along your journey of purchasing. Barb can help you refinance. There's lots of different options. The market is good. As I've been saying for a long time, it's going to be good, and it has been good, and it will continue to be good for the rest of the year. Barb, June 30th or July 30th is our next date. Enjoy some of the summer, and we'll talk soon.
Great. Sounds good. Bye.